You know, I'm not usually one to cover topical things here on the channel, at least not anymore, because as you can see from my newer content, I'm more into the lesser known pieces of paleo media. However, sometimes there's just something that really piques my interest to the point where I just can't help but talk about it. And Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal is one of those things, because I absolutely love this show. Especially in recent times, it's definitely been my absolute favorite show, and seeing how a trailer has finally been officially released for season 2, I ended up doing a bunch of research to see what we should expect for this upcoming season, and I wanted to compile all of that into a video. Now I know I may be a little bit late to this party considering season 2's trailer was actually leaked earlier this week, I think like 3 or 4 days ago. And initially I was thinking about talking about it here on the channel, but I wanted to wait until there was an official release for the trailer. You know, I didn't want to accidentally cover a fake leak, even though the art style looked very identical to the one that we're used to in Primal, which would make sense because that would end up being the actual trailer that was leaked, because literally a few days later, Adult Swim would release the same trailer onto their channel officially. And that's why I've decided to do my video now. One thing about season 2 that I feel has been confirmed for a while is that it's slated to be much bigger and grander than season 1. Tartakovsky has made mention about this, I want to say as far as last year even, because I remember him talking about how season 2 was supposed to be very different in comparison to season 1 that goes beyond just the overarching stories that align all 10 episodes together. Which, if you don't remember from season 1, we didn't really have that because each episode within that season had its own unique conflicts that were typically resolved by the end of it. But I suppose what they mean by season 2 being bigger is that everything that we've seen in season 1, you know, things like the brutality and the savagery of Primal, not to mention the world as a whole, all of that is going to be showcased in season 2 just on a grander scale. The world is obviously going to be expanded with new creatures, an entire new civilization, and maybe even more mystical creatures. Some people are even saying that, you know, Spear and Fang started out hunting pigs together and now they're gonna be fighting Satan himself. Because that's literally what it looks like. It looks like they're about to go against Satan right there. And this is really cool because the expansion of the new world with its new creatures, its new civilization, its new rules and laws and conflicts, it just gives more development to the story and the overall world of Primal. One thing that I've noticed is that Tartakovsky has been very clear about how he and his team have been trying to approach the new developments for season 2, and how they're trying to avoid making it cliche, which contributes to why it's so different. Tartakovsky himself says, the introduction of Mira gives light that there is more civilization out there that's more advanced. Once you get to ancient civilizations, you go instantly to like Pharaohs, Stargate, 10,000 BC, all those movies. I realized everything we were talking about felt too cliche, too done, so we broke everything down and restarted, and came up with a direction that is more unique. It's gonna keep you on your toes, and basically from episode 11 to 20, it's one story. That's the big difference from the first season. And that last part of his statement really got me thinking about how I initially felt about season 1 of Primal. When I first watched the first season, I wasn't too into the idea that each episode had its own contained story. I kind of wanted to see the episodes more connected with each other. And don't get me wrong, there are some instances of connections between the episodes of season 1. However, for the most part, it's clear that each episode was supposed to have its own enemy and own individual story. However, the more I watched season 1, the more I fell in love with it and overlooked that one issue that I had with it. But in hearing that season 2 is going to be expanding from the world that we know from season 1, it's weirdly given me this new appreciation for season 1. Because now season 1 almost feels like a tutorial or an establishment that's meant to set up everything that we could possibly see in the future of Primal. It sets up a variety of scenarios and environments and creatures, and even though the stories aren't connected, it showcases all of the possibilities within the universe of Primal and what can and can't happen. And now that we have that information, it somewhat prepares us for what we should expect from season 2. Although based on what I'm reading, it's almost as if they're trying to say you aren't ready for what's to come in season 2. Because apparently it's just supposed to be much bigger and grander and more surprising. Which, don't get me wrong, that definitely has me excited. But along with that statement from Tartakovsky, we also got a bit of a synopsis from Adult Swim themselves, I believe. It's not much, but it's just interesting to hear the description for season 2. It states, Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal follows the tale of Spear, a caveman at the dawn of evolution, as he forms an unlikely friendship with Fang, a nearly extinct dinosaur. In the second season, Spear and Fang journey to a new world to rescue Mira from her captors, only to find a place filled with savage brutality. One thing that I'm really happy about is that they haven't given up on that prehistoric aesthetic to Primal, which I know should be a given, but they could have easily just modernized this new civilization, not just in terms of intelligence or technological feats, but also just excluding prehistoric life as a whole. But it looks like that's still going to play a pretty crucial role in the show, which I'm really happy about because that was one of the things I was worried about when season 1 ended. Obviously, there were going to be new creatures in this new world, but considering the second half of season 1 had a different approach to different creatures, for example, a more fantastical and mystical approach, I don't know, there was a good second there where it felt like they were gradually trying to ditch the dinosaur aspect of the show. Honestly, I don't even really know why I thought that, because all of those previous episodes that actually included all of those elements into it still had a very healthy dose of dinosaurs too. I mean, there was a zombie Argentinosaurus, there was a theropod-like dinosaur slashing creatures left and right, and of course we have Fang possessed under the witch's spell. So yeah, Primal has definitely shown time and time again that they're able to mix those two elements in ways that feel natural. And I can only hope they continue doing that in this second season. Now, considering how unprepared I was for the previous episodes, for example, Plague of Madness, Coven of the Damned, the Night Feeder one, I couldn't even begin to speculate what they mean by trying to avoid being cliche and doing something different. So you know what? I'm gonna go into this season without trying to guess anything about how they could possibly surprise us, and I'm pretty sure I'll be surprised with whatever they end up showing me. But going back to the new things that we're going to be seeing in this show, one of the things that I really can't wait to see are just all of the new animals. There does seem like there's going to be some new dinosaurs, as there is one example in the trailer of a new dinosaur, a theropod of some type fighting over a dead prehistoric rhino of some sort with Fang. I mean, aside from that, there's not much else in terms of dinosaurs besides, you know, Fang obviously. But of course there are other prehistoric animals to look forward to. There's the Megalodon, there's the Argentavis, and the Archelon, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm almost sure that most of these are going to play pretty minor roles, because I'm just basing that off of previous experiences of new animals showing up in these trailers for Primal when really they don't play that huge of a role in the show. I remember when the trailer for season 1 first released and there was that small part of the trailer that showed the Kronosaurus or some sort of pliosaur that was attacking Fang, and I remember guessing that maybe it was a possibility there was going to be an ocean themed episode, but that entire sequence just played a very small part in the final episode of the season. There's really not much to it. So that's what I'm going to guess for all of these other animals, is that they're probably not going to play a huge role, especially considering the main part of the story for season 2 is going to focus on Spear and his conflict with this new civilization and their boss, which seems to be, again, Satan himself. But of course, that's just speculation. It is possible these animals could play a much bigger role than what I'm guessing right now. I'm also going to guess that we're not going to see anything reappear from season 1, which was something that I feel like a lot of people were guessing at after season 1 was initially released, especially in the second half of season 1, because there was just a lot in that half that was just left unanswered and ambiguous, and I think that was done on purpose to kind of add to the mystery of the world of Primal. But of course, this didn't stop people from guessing that maybe some of this stuff would reappear in some shape or form in season 2. One thing I could see returning is probably the black substance from episode 5. However, everything else I just don't really see being brought back for the second season. Some people speculated that maybe the witches might make a reappearance, seeing how they are one of the only enemies that weren't killed by Spear or Fang. I also heard people suggesting that maybe we'll see the origins of the virus that caused the Plague of Madness in season 1 appear in season 2. Overall, I can't tell you with certainty that they're not gonna make an appearance, but I wouldn't count on it. Even for the black substance, I just don't think it's relevant enough for what's going to occur in season 2 to even make a reappearance. Again, that's just speculation and I could be wrong. It is possible they could make a reference to a lot of these things in this season to show that maybe these travelers that capture people like Mira from this new civilization have also ran into some of the weird things that Spear and Fang have also ran into. Because I think it was established at the end of season 1 that Mira's captors are people who travel around the world to capture slaves or sacrifices to take back to their evil warlord, which is, you know, the Scorpion. That would be really cool to see actually, if all of those things from season 1 actually got referenced in season 2. I'd be okay with that, and I feel like it'd make more sense than full on trying to explain their origins or reappearance and trying to just put them in season 2 as a whole. I just don't see that happening. But that's pretty much all of the information and speculation I have on Primal season 2 for now. I really cannot wait to see this new season and what it has in store for us. I don't plan on doing a review for season 2, however, I do plan on doing a season 2 iceberg for the show. If you guys don't remember or don't know, my friend Pish and I actually made our own Primal iceberg and covered it in a video, which actually is one of the most popular videos on my channel, which I just have to say thank you guys so much for that, for just showing that video that immense amount of support. It was very fun to put together, even though it was a bit sloppy. However, with how much that's being shown in season 2 from just the trailers alone, I'm fairly confident there's going to be enough in this season to make a whole nother iceberg just based around season 2, which should hopefully result in a cleaner and better developed iceberg. So hey, you know, if you like that iceberg video that we did initially, then hey, something else for you guys to look forward to. I know I'm announcing the iceberg, but don't expect it too soon because I do have a lot of other content I need to get to. I still have my 40K special that has been just kind of lying around. Don't worry, I'm still putting that together. You guys will get that soon. And I also have another episode of the Paleontology Fringe Theories iceberg to work on. So yeah, I've got a few things I gotta work on. My goal is to get both of those things out before the end of July. So let's hope that I can actually do that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I know this is kind of different from the stuff I usually do because this video is a lot more topical, and I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of did this, you know, I freestyled it. I didn't have a script with this video or anything. I kind of just went with it, to be honest. But yeah, every now and again, I like to make exceptions for the more well-known and topical things like Primal, because I really do like this show, and even though I don't cover it a whole lot, every now and again I do like to talk about it here on the channel. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments. But that's pretty much all I have to say for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please, have a nice day.